Yeah, it's free content. So you know, I put it up as many places as you can find it. You're not a huge podcast guy in general.
No, I am, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, do I listen to?
Yeah, do you listen to a lot?
Yeah, of course. Oh, sorry.
Is that your front door?
Somebody's at my... I won't check it. I'll just assume we're good.
So it's a package.
My house is being robbed right now. I'm going to blame it on you.
You said you were wearing your sunglasses because they're prescription.
Prescription, yes. I don't want to be perceived as...
Dude, you'll not... I'm putting this out. This will be 1 week of podcasts that all come out the week Runaways premieres.
Oh, nice.
So what did they say to you when you got the phone call from, I guess, my agent or my manager to you're my publicist to do this? What did they say?
They said, check this guy out. He's awesome. And he's a big fan of mine. I assume, I didn't know it was Runaways or... It's
Runaways. It's so we
try the other glasses.
My family, Jesus, probably like 4 Christmases ago, maybe.
Yeah.
I was just looking to find a meaningful present for my daughter.
Yeah.
And I called up this comic book store.
No, I got to put these on. These are the old prescription. I'm sorry. Otherwise, I can't see you. Yes.
It's fine.
Go ahead.
And I called up this comic book store and I said, my daughter's kind of into comic books.
Yeah.
At the time, she was just, you know, like and he said, I said, what's cool? He said, have you read Runaways? I said, I'm not into comic books. And he goes, I think she'd like Runaways. And so I said, really? And he goes, yeah. And so I got her a set of Runaways, and then I went on the hunt for all the Runaways, and I got all the Runaways, and she became obsessed with it. And then...
How old's your daughter?
Right now she's 14. This must happen when she was 10 or 11, maybe.
The comics, the Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Runaways came out as a TV show, and she got really excited and said, Dad, Runaways is coming out as a TV show. And so we all got together and watched the first episode, the whole family.
Wow.
And we loved it.
And
it's our show.
It's kids too, or just for...
we have 2 kids, Isla and Georgia. Georgia's my oldest, Isla's my youngest. Isla's dyslexic. Isla has a really hard time reading, and she started reading because of Runaways.
Wow.
And so like got obsessed with it and started... I mean, that now they have the new Runaways came out this season, meaning the comic books, and Isla and Georgia were on it. And it is the only reason we have Hulu. The only reason we have Hulu is because of Runaways.
Wait a minute, Handmaid's Tale. Wait a minute.
Dude, I don't fuck with Hulu at all.
What about Sarah Silverman? I Love You, America. Also great.
Sarah, I love Sarah. Big fan of Sarah, but I'm not buying Hulu for I Love America.
Yes.
We're buying it for fucking Runaways.
I appreciate that.
Just know that.
I encourage you to check out Sarah's show. It's really good.
I'm sure it is. I'm telling you, fucking Runaways.
Oh, thanks, bro.
And then I just said I had a publicist, I think, when my special was coming out. Yeah. And I was like...
And have you had other people come in from the show? Or
I haven't, not yet. I have a bunch of people coming in.
Nice.
But I got to a place where it's like, a lot of people wanted me to on their shows. And I said, I'm going to stop with that. And I'm going to bring people to me that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
As opposed to, because like a lot of times people I want to talk to don't have podcasts. And so I hit them up and I said, yo, anyone from Runaways? And the first one they came back was you. And we were at dinner with my daughters and they went, shut up. The dad? Oh my God, shut up. They lost their shit.
Isn't that crazy? I'm now the dad. That's just what's happened in my career.
What's even crazier is I'm with Leanne, my wife, and we're going through your biography. You've fucking been working
25 years now.
Like legit nonstop. I want to talk about Runaways, but I want to start with you and talk about your path. You literally, no joke, you are me, but as an actor. Working, make a very good living.
Yeah.
Not like you can go into a store, no one's like losing their shit unless they're a fan.
Right.
Unless they're a fan of Alias.
Yeah.
Or fucking dude, I ran through your list of credits as a joke to my wife, going like, he has been in, and I go, are you ready for this? CSI New York, CSI Las Vegas, CSI Miami,
I've done all the CSIs.
That's fucking so you grew up in Los Angeles though.
Yeah, I did. And but I grew up in the Valley. Here we are.
Where in the Valley?
In Encino. My mother still lives in the same house I grew up in, yes.
Really?
My room has been converted into her office, so my sailboat wallpaper is gone. That's the one thing that I lament. But
only child?
No, I have a sister, an older sister.
Okay.
And then I have 2 other sisters, 2 half sisters.
From your dad's side?
Yeah, my dad remarried. Yeah, exactly. And great. I mean, so I was always kind of, you know, the male energy, entertaining the ladies of my family, but I was always really into storytelling, into theater at a very young age. I also love music. I'm a drummer as well.
Wow.
So in junior high, I remember I auditioned for Fiddler on the Roof, didn't get a part, but I was asked to be the drummer in the orchestra, and I had so much fun just playing live in front of an audience. I secretly, desperately wanted to be on stage.
Yeah.
But I loved reading music, and I loved being a part of that storytelling and seeing the reaction from the crowd. So then I just went headfirst into acting, went to Taft High School.
Taft is
in Woodland Hills.
Okay. My wife, our friends are thinking about moving out there to go to Taft.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Taft's a really great school.
Yeah, academic decathlon champions many years. I was not on the team, but I knew some of the people. And the theater program there was great. And there are these competitions in Southern California called the drama festivals. And you compete against other schools, two-person scenes, monologues, group scenes. So my love of competition, I'm also a big fan of sports. Dodgers. I see we're both wearing Dodger hats.
You know, this will air probably the week of, so by December is when it's premiering.
Okay.
Runaways.
Yeah. But, so hopefully the Dodgers will have won the World Series.
Yeah, guys. First of all, congratulate us while you're listening to this, or mock us. It was a Brad beat.
A lot of Red Sox fans out there probably, and they have a great team. But what are you gonna do? But so my love of competition and my love of my burgeoning love of theater and Shakespeare and contemporary plays. You know, things from Neil Simon and Woody Allen and even David Mamet, which was a little risque for that time. I fell in love. And also, you know, there were these amazing actors and women who, you know, started to express interest based on the fact that I was interested in something. Yeah. And, which was amazing and exciting for any young 15-year-old, 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And so I just got really into it, and I would compete in these festivals, and I got a really good response, and I won some awards, and I thought, well, hey, maybe I'm okay at this, and seemed to be getting a decent reaction. So then I hopped over the hill and went to UCLA theater school. And
so describe, if you can, the first time you got on stage, the connection you felt, because I know that there's people that can really quickly identify with not wanting to be on stage. Everyone can understand that they don't want to be on stage. Very few of us, myself included, I think anyone that probably has been on this podcast, there is an excitement the second you get on stage, almost like a comfort sometimes.
Yeah.
What was it like the first time you got on stage that made you decide, oh, this is who I really am?
Yeah, you know, I think it was a weird relaxation. There's something about the boards. You know, they say back on the boards when you're in the stage and you're on the stage in the theater, and there's something about the smell, and I don't know if it's for you, if it's like that as a comedian and you're kind of in.
Oh, mine. I'll tell you mine after this. You'll go,
maybe it
that's
smells
interesting.
There are different smells.
It's different, but keep going.
Yeah, it's the olfactory. It's like the senses. You know, I just get up there and I love connecting with other people on stage and with that green-eyed monster, you know, that Shakespeare describes the audience, you know, just the kind of the palpable reaction from humans in the audience. And, you know, also the fact that you could horribly fail and tank, but you have got to keep going. So there's something exciting about that. It's like it's very zen. You just have to go. You got to go. And that's why I love sports too, is because it's live theater. You do not know what's going to happen, but you got to go with it. Yeah. And you know, I always, years later when I started working on Alias and different shows, you could always tell the great theater actors, Victor Garbers and the Ron Rifkins and Carl Lumleys and Jen Garner and people, because, you know, they rarely would stop, because the mistakes were often, the gold was often found in the mistakes. It wasn't, there was this kind of thing of like, we just got to keep going. There's no stop. The train is not stopping. And there's something exciting about that. But really it's just about stepping on that theater and like, who else has been on this theater? And like, who else has been here? And
there is an excitement. The San Jose Improv is a big club that
I know that
we do.
Sure.
I just got back from a month ago maybe, but Houdini performed on that stage.
Whoa!
And there's a real excitement when you know Houdini came up here.
Yeah,
Houdini walked up here. Like there's what I was gonna say, and this sounds really bizarre. I'm a little. I guess you could say we're all complicated, but I get anxiety on Sundays. I used to do Sunday shows. I don't do Sunday shows anymore. But on my late Saturday, knowing I had an early flight, I get anxiety knowing I'm not going to get much sleep.
Yes, dude,
I'm going to be on a plane all day tomorrow. And that anxiety would disappear for that hour I was on stage. And that is often why my Sunday shows, when I did Sundays, or my late Saturday shows would go long, is because I was so the second it wasn't the anxiety was there before the show, pre-show, in between shows, and my stomach didn't feel right. The second they said put your hands together for Bert Kreischer, it went away, and I was I'm always more comfortable than I've ever been in my entire life the second I'm on stage.
Isn't that interesting?
It's a bizarre
it's your home, it's like where you feel the most relaxed. But I know that pre-day or pre-show anxiety. You know what I mean? There might be a trip to the restroom.
Dude, there's a lot of people there's a lot of us that go I was in Chicago with a good friend of mine's wife. Everyone can guess exactly who that is, and she's like, I gotta take my pre-show shit.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And it's also like I have a routine, and people always say, "Oh, it must be so fun." I'm like, it's not that fun because it's a crippling anxiety.
The funnest is when you're done.
Yeah.
The second you get done and you get to have your cocktail or your joint or your cigar,
right,
or your cup of coffee or tea, whatever the fuck you do.
Yeah.
The second, that's why I'm excited for this coming tour, because we haven't figured out meet and greets. Meet and greets can be a tad bit taxing. So I'll meet and greet 200 people after a show, and it's just a line, and it's like,
you get in the robot mode.
A little bit, a little bit disconnect, and then there are people that get upset that you disconnect, and then there's people that have a story and they draw you back in. Those are fun, but for the most part, you're like, I want to do it because I don't want people not to have the experience, but at the same time, having done it as much as I have recently, I would love to. Let me say, I don't regret the meet and greets. I miss the getting off stage and just having a drink and bullshitting with the other comics. The manager comes in. That was a good show. Guy in the front row threw up.
Yeah. Well, but that's different than the meet and greet, because that takes a lot of your energy.
Meet and greet takes a lot of energy,
and you've just kind of given it to them on stage. But at the same time, I think now it's in your business it's part of the
work. It's part of the job.
Right. I'm gonna hear other comedians talking about that. We don't experience that as much because we can kind of, if you're on stage, you can go kind of meet your friends if they're there, but you can also kind of sneak away. No one's expecting you to meet the actors. But also on set when you're working, there is something like I'm not super chatty while I'm working. Unbelievably respectful of everybody's department on the crew, and I value everyone. But at the same time, I have to kind of stay in my zone, my focus, because it's, they're long days and you need energy in spurts when you're working in film and television.
So wait, so then walk me through what it's like, because I would be all over the fucking map in a shoot. I'd be like, what's up, guys? Over at Craft Services.
I do that too. I love it. Craft Services, of course.
Yeah, every show I've ever done. I've done a few acting roles, but I don't enjoy it the most.
Yeah.
But I'm very social. But so when you get on set, are you?
It's a double-edged sword. The social. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Please interrupt. That's all I do in this podcast.
No. I just say. Well, you were going to ask me. Are you what?
You said it's a double-edged sword.
Well, being social, because you really have to kind of modulate your energy throughout the day, because oftentimes you'll have an early call, like 6 a.m. call, which, by the way, I do get anxiety. You were talking about the night before, just about sleeping enough, of course. Then I'm wake up at 2, and then at 3, I got the panic. Did my Apple thing go up?
Yeah.
I set 6 alarms every 15. Do you do that?
My wife gets pissed. I go, hey Siri, set an alarm for 5:30. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 5:45. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 5:40. Hey Siri, set it. My wife's like, set one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but the fear is you're going to go back to sleep on snooze and then never.
Siri just set a.
You're getting up at 5:45, bro. That's it.
Well, that's oddly enough, that's when I'm waking up these days.
To go on your tour or for your kids?
I'm on a workout challenge with. This will have already happened, and people will know that. But I'm in a workout challenge with Joe Rogan, Ari Shaffir, and Tom Segura.
Nice.
And
we were just talking about Joe. Yeah, awesome.
We're wearing heart rate monitors and working out and seeing who can burn the most, keep their heart rate the highest while working out.
Nice. Sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
But good for you, man. Yeah, you got to do it, right?
I don't know about that. Anyway, so you modulate your energy because you get to set at 6.
Well, yeah.
And you don't just go kill a coffee, eat a bagel, and be like, all right, let's go.
I do drink coffee, but there's also the kind of modulate caffeine. There's a lot. I mean, I could literally teach a seminar, not on acting, but how to get through your day on set, which is, listen, it's, we're not soldiers. We're not, doing heavy lifting.
Yeah.
God bless those guys. But I'm just saying, like, in order to truly be present and focused, because a lot of times a big scene will be at the end of the day, and you're not there if you're not in a scene. You're called for the work that you're doing, obviously. Yeah. But a lot of times, characters I've played, a lot of the scenes will be crammed into one day because they're on one particular set or one soundstage. Mm-hmm. And so you're there all day. And, if we're doing a scene right now, they might kind of shoot you first. Okay. And then they'll come around on me, starting to get hungry. Oh, wait, I'm starting to lose energy. I've really got to focus because now the camera's turning around and I've got to give the same energy that I did off camera. And by the way, it's all the same. I don't save. I mean, maybe you ramp it up a little bit when it's your coverage, they call it. But you have to be there for the other actor because your performance will look and seem more authentic if their performance is more authentic, and their authenticity is predicated on you being present for them. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
But a lot of actors, they don't get that and they won't be there for you. And it's like, hey, don't you understand? You're going to look better if you're there for me.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it long enough that I can kind of figure out how to, navigate through if somebody's not present for me. Yeah. And unfortunately, there have been some people in this town that, will check out when it's not their coverage. But I'm going to name any names. But most people, like on the Runaways, everyone's amazing. But so you just have to figure out how to not waste your energy on things that don't require your energy. You know what I mean? So if you need to go and kind of meditate in the corner of the soundstage, go for it. No one's going to think ill of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at the same time, if you have a surplus of energy and you want to chit chat with the Teamsters, great guys, love the Teamsters. They'll tell you the best stories. I always go to the guy, like the oldest guy, and I chat with him because he's the guy that worked with Brando, or he's the guy that, has got a great story from some movie that I loved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always go to those guys. I'm like, hey, where'd you get your start? Blah, blah, blah. I just find it fascinating.
So now
the drivers, Teamsters are generally the drivers.
Yeah. So now starting in LA, did you do any child acting at all?
No. So I went to Taft, and then I went to UCLA and was a theater major, and I just focused
What's that got to be like growing up in LA, being interested in the arts, knowing that is what this city is defined by, knowing that you probably had friends whose dads were actors and directors and writers.
Sort of. I grew up in the Valley, though. My dad was an attorney. He represented some people in the industry.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, Justine Bateman went to my high school, but she was older than me. That was kind of
so hot still.
Of course, beautiful. But that was kind of
I dreamed about Jason Bateman last night. That's so funny.
His show is awesome. Have you checked out?
Which one? Ozarks?
Ozark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, second season, I'm not as into it as I was first season. First season, I was like obsessed.
Yeah.
I was watching it, but I have been watching it working out, and it's
That's
hard.
So funny. Me too. Yeah.
It's hard to get into for me working out. I just haven't been, and there's a lot I forgot from first season.
Right. Well, they moved to the Ozark because they have
but
longer money.
No, but there's a lot of like characters that I was like, wait, who's this one again? Like,
right.
Anyway, but
they've kind of streamlined in second season, and the characters that I think were fan favorites are now prominent season 2. I'm about halfway through season 2, but I know what you're saying.
I'm probably halfway through. The dad's out of jail.
Yeah.
Okay, and so anyway, but you decided like I said I'm getting into acting.
I wanted to be a theater actor, and
it was theater.
I love the theater, and Yeah, of course. Like secretly, I was like,
Now,
maybe I could parlay this into something else. But
is that like us saying, like there's a weird thing that happens in stand-up where we all say we just want to be stand-ups, but when they offer us the sitcom or the movie, we all leap at it.
Of course.
Like even like.
Well, it's a business. It's called show business.
Yeah,
for a reason.
But then there's guys like Chappelle, who redefined, and Louis, who redefined. Oh, I just want to be a stand-up. And so part of me, and I say this now, not knowing what my career will hold, but I just love stand-up. I just love stand-up. I'm good at that, and that is making more money than definitely than if I had a sitcom or if I had another TV show on Travel Channel. So part of me goes, oh, now here's where I am. But there is a disingenuous side to that because I am taking meetings for development. I am taking meetings for making a movie.
Awesome.
But no, but I'm saying, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, is that the thing? Does that happen in acting where people go, I love the theater, but then you're like, well, fuck, man, the money in fucking TV is so ridiculous, you know?
Well, there is certainly something to be said. It's very difficult to make a living in the theater. Absolutely, you know,
right? So what does like Kristen Chenoweth make? Like, she make a lot of money, you think?
Well, yeah, because she tours and does shows like at the Hollywood Bowl, and she'll do songs from her shows. Yeah, you know, from Wicked and So I think she gets paid pretty well to do, and she probably does personal appearances, and I'm sure she probably does corporate gigs.
Can you make $1 million being like a theater actor?
I mean, probably not. I don't know. Okay. You know, probably some of the like Hugh Jackman, I'm sure.
No, but I meant like,
he already established
like if
himself.
if you go, I'm staying with theater. Fuck this. This is my love.
It's hard to make a great living, but you can make a living.
A good living.
But you know, when I was young, I didn't really think about that. I just went to, you know what I mean? But now I have two kids.
I didn't even know you toured as a stand-up. I thought you moved to New York and just did spots.
Right.
I really didn't know that you did the road. I did not know that was
That's
part of it.
Probably better because you focused on what you thought was important, was developing yourself as an artist, as a stand-up, as opposed to, you know, I feel like now a lot of people come at it the opposite way, which is, how do I make money? How do I be famous? Because I don't feel like it's that hard, and you can tell me if it's the same in stand-up, but I don't feel like it's that hard to get an opportunity. But most people aren't ready when their opportunity comes, and I'm sure that's the case in stand-up.
I've had a few opportunities that I wasn't ready for, and I've seen people get opportunities they're not ready for, and I've seen people flip it and go, wow, that guy's now working forever. But
we're the same. We're like 10-year overnight successes.
I would give myself 20, only because all the success I had, I never saw it as success until doing stand-up 20 years, and I was like, oh, okay, now I can breathe. I can exhale.
And what's the end game anyway, man? You got a beautiful wife, you have kids, you have a beautiful house, you know, you're doing what you love. I mean, you did it.
The end game for me, I guess.
You got to get a bigger house. You got to get a better wife. No, your wife's probably amazing.
I wouldn't mind a second wife, but I want one more house. I want one more house. I want like an exhale house. Like, I'm done.
Of course.
My family loves this house, and I love this man cave, and we love our neighbors, and we love our area, and so we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But
listen, of course you're on your own journey and you deserve all that. I'm just saying, like, there's no salve with success. I've really learned that the journey is part of the key.
Yeah.
But we can also say that as guys who are fortunate enough to do what we love and to make a living doing that.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, you know, when I started this theater company and we were doing shows in LA, and all the money, there's this thing called equity waiver. It's called the showcase contract in New York. And, you know, the actors are supposed to get paid $10 a show or whatever it is. But like this company that we formed, and a lot of the guys in the company have gone on to huge success in theater and film and television.
What was the name of the company? I saw it on
Buffalo Nights,
Buffalo
theater
Nights,
company.
yeah.
And we, you know, I was a young guy. I was in our 20s, so we were hungry. We did, you know, 20, 30 shows in the LA area, produced, acted, and directed. And my point is that was how people always say, how do you get your start? But somebody saw me in a show, an agent who's now my agent still 25 years later.
What's your agency?
I'm at APA, a guy named Dan Barron.
Okay.
But as his...
That was why they called me this afternoon and
told me I was running late?
Yeah. But I had all the comedy department left APA and went to WME.
Oh.
And so it came up APA and I was like, who the fuck could this be?
Oh, so you thought it was in relation to?
I thought it was. Yeah, well, I thought.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
you moved over to WME?
No, I'm at UTA, but
okay.
But the comedy department and APA all moved over to WME, and when APA called, I went, huh? And so
they're like, we got a job for you, but don't tell WME.
Yeah. So you
anyway,
saying,
my point is,
he discovered you. I'm so fucking bad at this. I interview horribly. This guy discovered you.
No,
and he's still your agent.
Kind of. I mean, like he was just like, it was actually another woman named Holly Lebed who became my manager for many years, and she was my agent as well. But his career progressed as mine did at the same time. It's kind of not that great of a story, but we like progressed together, and we're still together. We're still married. Yes, and great guy. But I didn't. That wasn't the goal. It certainly was in the mind of how do I break in, but I was really focused in my early 20s on just working. Because like if you're a musician, you can jam at any time. But for actors, it's like a lot of people don't have an opportunity just to flex the muscle 10,000 hours. I mean, you probably have more than 10,000 hours on stage, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But I'm saying that's why you're a good stand-up. You know,
too much. I have too many hours on stage.
Yeah, but you know, it's like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't get nervous. Like if I'm prepared, I'm not nervous. The only time I'm ever nervous now is if I wish I had done a little more preparation. I don't know if you feel the same way, but otherwise it's like, you know.
Yeah, I don't have nerves about stand-up. I have moments where I go, fuck, I feel like I have nothing new to say.
But that's a whole other ball game, right? Because do you feel like if you do a set for like a year, you got to do a whole new.
Stand-up's gotten a little complicated in that once you record a special, that material's now dead.
Yeah.
And so then you have to start new. My problem is I love the writing process more than I love the preparing a special process.
Right.
Preparing a special is very tedious. It's you got to do about 150 sets of that material. At least that's what I did for this last special I did. And then you got to videotape each. Wow. 150, yeah. Oh, and once you get the offer for a special, you have a goal in mind. And once you have a goal in mind, you go, okay, now I look at my calendar and I know I can tour. I can tour just about 10 shows a week. And then, and then you start doubling down. You go, I can do 3 spots at the store. I can do 3 spots at the Improv. And then you start breaking it down. You start really kind of highlighting what needs work. What I do is I videotape each bit, each chunk, and I kind of block them off, and I work on the chunks. And then once I get all the chunks down, then it comes to like riding the flow and writing it and getting the hour to either. And in this last one, I reverse engineered it kind of because it was for Netflix, and I wanted it to be.
I can watch that now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I did it a certain way because I knew the Netflix algorithm.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely paid off.
That's awesome, man. And do you not allow phones in your gigs? I know that's like a new thing. You can't
stop that. I mean, you can if you're Chappelle, but a regular person can't.
Right.
Like if anyways, here's the interesting thing about my career or where I'm at now is that the people listening to this are legit fans, and they actually know what that definition is. A guy came up to me one time very quickly and said, drunk, shirtless, and was like, hey, you have no idea I'm a fan.
He was drunk and shirtless?
I perform shirtless. So
you always perform shirtless?
Always perform shirtless.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so
could you take your shirt off now so I have a fit?
I'm in such good shape, it would just be awkward. Thanks
to Joe Rogan and the challenge.
Yeah, and so he's like, you don't understand, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And people come up and say,
was he shirtless too?
He was shirtless too, yeah.
So wait, do a lot of your fans show up to the show shirtless? That's part of
a lot of guys will take their shirts off when the show starts. A lot of guys will take their shirts off to take a picture with me. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna come to your show, but I'm keeping my shirt on.
You might rip it off. You get excited. And so he was like, the point is he was like, I'm invested in you. When you succeed, I succeed. I feel like good things that happen to you, they reflect on me, and I then feel that good things happen to me.
That's beautiful.
So he's like, so when you sold out this weekend, I felt like we sold out this weekend. Wow. I tell people about your stand-up. I tell people about your podcast. I want you to succeed. I want good things to happen to you. Now, that sounds bizarre.
No.
If you're a third party but when you realize that you're a fan, like you're a fan of the Dodgers, and when they won And when Puig, was it Puig that hit the home run in game
7?
Game 7?
Yeah.
You got excited and you went, yes.
Of course.
You wanted him to hit that home run.
Of course.
You wanted him to
but
succeed.
It is weird. It's like, why? Why do we care so
it's
much?
It's a weird thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a legit fan of Joe's.
I've never
known
met
Joe for
Puig
years.
before. Yes.
I've known Joe's for years. But when like Elon Musk came on and smoked weed on his podcast,
Yeah.
I was like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
he did that on our podcast. That's I listen to that podcast.
Right.
He did that with us. Isn't that
interesting?
And so it's a really bizarre thing that's happened with, I believe, with entertainment. So when people listen to this, they'll be like, oh, shut up. So then they'll watch the Runaways and they'll go, I know Kevin.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bizarre, but it's
I
the
do
way.
get that though. Like people feel like they know you, but you're playing a character, which is a little bit different because I'm assuming with stand-up, you're really. Do you feel like you're playing a character, or do you feel like you're truly yourself?
Oh, me to a fault.
Right. Because, some people kind of have a version of themselves.
Oh, yeah. I wish I'd done that.
Yeah. No, but that's why you're successful. Because don't they say...
In hindsight, I wish I had done that so badly.
But that's why people love you, man, because you're telling the truth. It's all about the truth, right?
I'm a jackass. I'm a legit across-the-board jackass. I like to have a good time. I like to drink too much. I like smoking weed. I like to party. I like to be with my friends. I like competition. I don't
see anything wrong with any of that.
I have a crazy brain. Like, people know about when I showed you my lucky eyelash in there, they know about the journey of that eyelash. I got it a year ago. It's been in my face. It's 2 inches long. Wow. Like, it's just, podcasting has been really fun for me because it's a true extension of
How long have you been doing the podcast?
I have no idea. Probably 7 years, 6 years.
Oh, nice. You got in on the ground floor. Yeah.
Yeah, I started very early, but I was a big fan of them.
Yeah.
And so I liked them. I liked listening to them. Ricky Gervais's was the first one I listened to. I was just with Ricky in New York, and I was like, no, you don't understand. This is, like, when I found your podcast, I can tell you where I was. Anyone who's, like, a legit fan of shit, meaning that gets into stuff, like, and that's, that comes back to the Runaways, but when you're a fan of something, like, you remember where you were when you discovered it.
Yeah.
You remember where you were when you saw it for the first time. You were like, oh, this is my shit.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be a fan of stuff. So many people push away because they don't want to look silly or they don't want to not feel cool. To be a fan of, like, Dave Matthews or Fish or the Rolling Stones, to be legit
I'm a deadhead, bro. I'm a deadhead,
dude,
and I will announce it here.
And you can tell when you have real fans of shit connect, and they can share stories, and like, it's like, I think people like digging cool shit.
Well, for me, it's, people always say, like, can you watch television or movies or theater and divorce yourself from the technical aspect of it, because it's what I do for a living and probably reflects on you watching stand-up as well. My answer is always like, if I am totally removed from it and I'm immersed in the story and the characters, I know it's good. If I'm sitting there analyzing, oh, that's interesting to use a two-shot there, and why'd that actor make that choice? And you know what I mean? That's terrible lighting. What are they doing?
It pulls you out of it.
Of course, I'm out of it, and that must mean I'm really not that engaged. Not to say it's not good, but I'm just not engaged. But if I'm truly engaged, I think it takes a little more for me to be engaged, because it's what I do, and I'm on sets all the time. Yeah. That like Mad Men for me was kind of like that. I mean, I can watch Mad Men now, and I'm there. I'm in the 60s. Do you know what I mean? And I know they shot it. I know where they shot it in LA, and I've actually been at that studio many times. It was just a studio, and guys were putting the 60s tumblers with the fake whiskey in there. But to me, they were it was real whiskey.
To me, it was real whiskey.
Yeah, and Draper was getting hammered. He was getting hammered. And I was, oh God, Draper, no. I mean, that was a show for me that, to this day, I just found it was remarkable. It was a remarkable achievement. That
was a really fun show to discover. That was a really fun show. I ran into
Weiner? Matt Weiner?
No, the girl Peggy.
Oh yeah.
I ran
Elizabeth
into Peggy
Moss
at a Wilco concert.
Yeah.
And I did not realize that I knew her from Mad Men.
Oh yeah. Well, and Handmaid's Tale now.
I thought I just knew her.
Yeah.
So I went up. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like, "Hi." I was like, "How you doing? I didn't know you were gonna be here." And she was like, "I am." I was like, "Cool." I go, "Who are you with?" And she was like, "My friends." And I was like, "Awesome." And then I'm like, "How do I wait? And then I'm like, she's not a comic. She didn't go to my school.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God, it's the girl from fucking Mad Men. And I was like,
I've gotten some weird thing like, hey, did we go to high school together? And I'm like, well, you're 25, so thank you.
Yeah.
Second of all, where did you go to high school? Oh, Niagara Falls. No, we did not go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is a lot, but it's just,
you must get that a lot because you've been in just about everything.
it is weird. I've been really lucky because I've been on these shows that are kind of, fortunately, been hired on shows that are become kind of iconic over the years.
Let's talk for a second about Jennifer Garner.
Yeah.
By the way, who I have to tell you is the American wife. She is.
Yeah.
I hope you and her have a good relationship because
Yeah.
I believe she is the prototype for. I'm in love with her, and I'm sure that what I'm saying is probably toxic masculinity. It's all the bad things. But when she went and rescued Ben and brought him through Jack in the Box and got him Jack in the Box to take him to rehab.
Yeah. And you know, she wasn't getting any for herself. It was, do you know what I mean?
She was just like, she was like, I
what
got
you
you,
need right
man.
now."
We
Yeah.
married. We have kids. I understand you're fucked up. I understand you've been with other women. I understand me and you aren't going to have the happy ending that we envisioned when we got married. But you're my man, and I got you, and I'm going to make sure okay. Man, should every man be as lucky as Ben Affleck and get a woman like Jennifer Garner in their life for just a year?
Yeah.
If you had one of those women, and my wife's a Jennifer Garner chick.
Good for you.
She's the same motherfucker. Look, if something goes on with me and I fucking fall off the rails, God forbid, and
she'll be there. But you also seem like a very loyal guy.
She'll be the one. Yeah, I'm really loyal.
Like
it's hard for me, but she'll be knocking on the fucking door at the Huntsman's Lodge. What's the one on
the Sportsman's Lodge.
Sportsman's Lodge.
Sure.
Open the door. I know he's in there. Open the fucking door.
I went to a lot of bar mitzvahs there in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I know it well. Well, you know, I'm divorced with 2 beautiful kids, and my ex is like that as well, and it's a blessing to have a good relationship with the mother of your children. So you know, I can relate, and if anything, I'm not surprised. I mean, Jennifer, they always say, like, when you're the number 1 on the call sheet, you're kind of like the squad leader. You have to represent a certain manner of class and decorum because it trickles down. And I've been on other shows where that's not the case. But she is the quintessential number 1. You know, I always say, like, the kindest, most generous, great actor, long days. I mean, back then, there are these things now where there are these restrictions on how many hours you can work. It's 12-hour days is kind of the...
Really?
It's kind of, it's the number now that most shows can get away with. But back then, we shot 15, 16-hour days. And she was in most of the scenes. Yeah. And then she would get up at 5 in the morning and work out. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that. Yeah, like, I'll get there when I get there when they call me, but I'm not working out before.
I watched her on Dinner for Five with Jon Favreau fight for Ben.
I remember that show.
She fell in love with Ben on that. You could watch it. You could see it. I think Colin Farrell was on that episode.
Yeah.
But you could see her. You could see she was smitten with him.
Wow.
And you could see that she was like, you're my guy. Like, I love Jennifer. I love Jennifer Garner.
But you know what? It came from the parents, because I remember her parents came to set. Her dad, she's from West Virginia, small town. Yeah. I mean, everything comes from your parents, right? At the end of the day. Yeah. A lot of stuff. And I remember saying to the dad, like, are you proud of your daughter? You must be proud. He's like, I'm proud of all my daughters. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
That's it. Right
Just
there.
For the record, Dad, if you ever hear that, you're most proud of me. Like, that's how I want to
hear it. By the way, I
it.
talked to your dad. He said he was. He was most proud of
What was that? Was Alias your first big?
Yeah, I had done a bunch of different TV stuff. Like, I was on a fairly iconic episode of the X-Files that Vince Gilligan wrote, and it was his first directing episode in season 7.
X-Files was fucking that fan base. I don't think they'll ever have anything like that, because that was at the very beginning of the internet.
Yes.
And that was when those were the people that were taking over the internet.
Yeah.
And those are diehard motherfuckers.
I still get people like, X-Files? I'm like, what? From 1999? Yeah. You know what I mean? It was a long time ago.
So you did X-Files?
And then I did Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Dude,
yes,
Buffy was
Roswell.
Buffy was the thing that I really feel like gave a real jump to a bunch of great actors.
Yeah.
I knew a bunch of friends that like booked an episode of Buffy, and it seemed like when I first came out here, I came out here first in like 99 was the first time I came out.
It's about when I did that, yeah.
And people that I liked were obsessed with Buffy. And they're like, you don't understand. This is not what you think it is. This is bigger than what it is. This is a brilliant TV show. It's not just a thing about this is a brilliant TV show. Joss
Whedon, like he kind of, that guy, he really revolutionized storytelling, as did JJ, I think. I got kind of hooked up with these people just randomly. Vince Gilligan.
Can you imagine JJ?
Well, I was hired on Felicity. I went in, I remember an audition for Felicity, and we just kind of hit it off and we were laughing. He was talking about something about my resume. Like I was in this movie Gone in 60 Seconds for like, literally my entire storyline was cut out. And I was gone in like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And that was a bad joke. But I remember
I was gonna make it if you didn't.
Yeah. And we were just kind of laughing about that. He was like, "Tell me about Gone in 60 Seconds." I was like, "There's not much to tell." And he ended up hiring me on that. I met Greg Grunberg, who's become a good friend of mine.
Greg Grunberg?
He was on Felicity, then he was on Alias, and then he's like one of JJ's best friends. He was in Star Wars. He was just in he had a part in Stars Born. He was the limo driver.
Fuck's Greg Grunberg?
You know him. You'd be buddies with him, man. He's an awesome guy.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, he has a podcast.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah,
Greg. I think I know.
He's like Man About Town. He's the iconic
Grunberg. Dude, I know Greg Grunberg.
Yeah, I feel like
dude, he was in fucking Heroes.
Oh yeah, he was in Heroes. Yeah,
dude,
that's the big one.
Fucking love Greg Grunberg.
He's the best.
Dude, that's his name.
Grunberg. Yeah, Grunny.
Shut the fuck up.
So I met Grunny on there.
So funny. So many people hit me up and they're like, "Are you in Star Wars?" Because I guess they think we look alike or whatever.
I was gonna say you kind of have a similar.
I was like, no,
type.
but and then they were like, "You definitely are." And then someone screen grabbed it, and I was like, "No, that's the fucking
guy from Heroes.
That's the guy from Heroes." Dude, let me tell you something. I was obsessed with Heroes. Yeah. I was fucking obsessed with Heroes.
Great show, great cast.
I am what's wrong. What's wrong. I am toxic masculinity. My buddy Ari was explaining it to me yesterday.
Yeah.
It's basically being too cool of a dude to learn new shit. Basically, it's like you're afraid to cry in front of people. And it's like, and I grew up with the kind of friends that's like, dude, you're into comic books? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Right.
So I never, anything like that.
But now that's celebrated.
So one night, my buddy, this guy Matt, I wish we were still friends. I wish we were still friends. I was into baseball cards too.
Yeah, that was my thing. I didn't know anything about comics.
My buddy Matt, he used to live above us. He was like, he said something about, he goes, I'm gonna go upstairs and get high and watch Leave Extraordinary Gentlemen. I go, what's that? And he goes, oh, it's a movie about comic book, whatever. And I was like, oh, fucking pass. And he was like, what? I was like, let's get high and watch a documentary on Hitler or something.
Yeah. Wow.
He was like, no, this is so much more interesting.
Yeah, very dark.
So we went up and he showed it to me, and I got so into that stupid fucking movie that I was like, I want to learn more.
I feel like that was a good one of those films.
And then after that, Heroes came out, I think, and I was like, all right. I'm not going to tell anybody, but I'm going to try this out. And I was like, I fucking love that.
You weren't the only one, though. It was a big show, right?
It was a really big show.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fell apart.
It's tough with those kind of stories to maintain. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's no fault of anybody, but like so much story too early. How do you keep it going?
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't know if you're going to continue. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of have to leave things...
Yeah, that's
open and wrap
the
them
weird
up.
thing is it's not just Seinfeld where you can be like every episode's evergreen,
self-contained.
Yeah.
Well,
Greg Grunberg, that's his fucking name.
I met.
I got to get him on the podcast now.
Dude,
he does a podcast.
He does one called an actor, a musician walk into a bar, and like it's him and then a musician and an actor. So I went on as.
So what is it? What is it? What's it? Not to like geek out about Greg Grunberg.
No,
but
it's all right. I love Greg.
But he, what's he?
He also wrote a comic too about for kids. His son has epilepsy, so he's really into promoting awareness and raising money for epilepsy. And so he wrote a comic about that. He's just cool.
Not laughing about his son having epilepsy. Yeah. There was a rapper that I just saw this morning, where he was wearing all pink and he's like, I support breast cancer.
Right.
And his buddy was like, idiot, you're supposed to support the awareness, not the disease.
Right.
So when you were like, he's really into epilepsy.
Awareness, yes. Because it's one of those situations that doesn't get a lot of press, I think. Money,
Well, I gotta look into him. So you were saying you met...
Well, I met those guys on Felicity, and then I remember I was doing Buffy or I was Roswell. It was a bunch of shows around that time I was working on, and my manager said, "Hey, they're JJ, you know, doing a new show. It's called Alias, about a spy." And I was in my late 20s by then, and I remember looking at the description, and it was about like a guy in his 40s, tech guy, overweight, Motley Crue t-shirt, ponytail in the back. I was none of those things.
Yeah.
Like, literally not one description. My manager was like, "Just go in, see JJ."
See, that's the difference between me and you. I would have said, no, that's not me. I'm not going to do that. Pass.
I almost said that. I was like, well, I don't want to embarrass myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't... She was like, just go in. You already know JJ. If anything, you just go and see him. It's good to see people. You know, that's what... And that's kind of what...
Oh, my God. Once again, I go, no, I pass. Because I want him to see me in a good light. I don't want to see me fail in an audition. Keep going. Keep going. This is what's wrong with my career. Keep going.
Well, but I see what you're saying. I had those same self-doubts. I'm like, my manager used to call me the question monster because I'd have like 9,000... Like, are you sure? Wait, does he know I'm coming in? Like... Wait, does he know that I'm not any of those things? Do you know? And I'm like, all right, I'll go in. And I remember sitting in the waiting room, seeing all those guys, thinking, there's no way I'm getting this. But I think that removed any anxiety because I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go in. I saw him. I was like, what's up, dude? What am I doing here? You know, I just started making jokes with him. You know, and I'm not a comedian, but I just like my personality and his personality were just a couple of like neurotic Jews, I guess. And, we just kind of hit it off, and the material was very sparse, but I kind of improvised and kind of did my own thing and ended up getting the job. And I think the lesson is like, nobody really knows what they want. You know, it's just until you, like, your comedy is that's you. So nobody knows that guy that you were talking about. He didn't know he needed that until you did it. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of my attitude about everything now, because I don't think I look anything like the guy in the comic Dale York's in the Runaways.
You know what? It's so funny. Georgia will pick apart what's going on and go, that actually did not happen. And I'll be like, I don't need to know that, Georgia. I'm watching this. And
right.
She goes, I'm just saying.
This is your experience. Right. And that was JJ's experience. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I said when they originally approached me about the Runaways. I was like, this guy's like 6 foot tall. He's like blonde, Aryan looking. I was like, I'm not anything like this guy. And I even said that. I remember to Josh and Jeff Loeb, I was like, is anyone going to buy this? Are they going to revolt? And they're like, no, it's fine. You know, it's not like I'm playing Superman or an iconic character that people immediately have an image of.
Yeah,
it's more an obscure comic, I guess.
And I think you're amazing in it. Like, it's so funny, out of all the people that when you came back as going, I was like, oh, I know that character. Good. Thank God. Like not saying that I wouldn't, but like there's you have different relations with different characters.
Yeah. You feel like you know that guy Dale. Yeah. Well, I think also like we are a little bit like the audience's voice. Like, what are we doing here? Because Bridget Branagh's character, Stacy, and myself, we get involved in this organization, the Pride, for what we think are altruistic purposes. You know what I mean? We're not...
Wait. I want to get to the... hang on. How much time have we done right now? What time do you need to get out of here?
I'm good. Whatever.
Okay. I want to talk about a little bit about Runaways, but I want to kind of wrap up more in essence of like your journey to where you are now at Runaways. Yeah. I personally would say Runaways is one of the next stepping stones to the bigger thing you're going to be in. Yeah. Only because I feel like you've done so much fucking shit that in a weird way, this is going to sound silly. I feel like when I started looking at your resume, I was like, oh, I'm so glad he's in Runaways. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like I was really like, because you're an amazing actor.
Oh, thanks, man.
Like, no joke, an amazing actor.
Appreciate that. I don't look at it as any sort of step. I just
you said, it's the journey, really.
And I'm just like, I'll be this guy for a couple of years and on to the next. You know what I mean? It's not. I have to be somewhat interested and invested. I'm not going to do something just for the money. You know.
Did you look at Runaways as like as like I don't. I'll tell you what. Give me a day. I want to make sure that this is something I can do.
It was more about like, wait a minute, what is this? You know, yeah. I wasn't familiar with the comic, and that's no slight on Brian K. Vaughan. I'm not familiar with any comics.
Yeah. Was there anyone on the cast that was familiar with the comic?
Yes.
Really?
The guy Ryan, who plays Jeffrey,
Hold on. Let me pull up fucking names.
Ryan. He plays. He is the African American dad.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
He's like a comic nerd, and in fact, and I mean that in a loving way. He's a graphic artist too. He made a cover that they ended up using, or that Brian used.
Really?
He's really into it.
James Marsters been in?
He was in Buffy. He played Spike in Buffy.
That he did play Spike. Oh motherfucker, he played Spike.
And I like James because he's the only actor that's older than me on the show, so I appreciate that.
Jesus.
I don't want to be honest. No, but I love. He's an amazing actor. I'm just kidding.
No, that yeah, God damn it, he did play Spike.
Yeah, and he's very, still an icon in the world of Buffy fans. Obviously, Jesus. He goes and does those meet and greet things all over the country.
Wait, who plays your wife?
Bridget. Yeah, she
is so sexy.
A lot.
I mean, I say this. Obviously, I can say whatever the fuck I want, but she's so sexy in like a Susan Sarandon kind of way. I don't want people to. I would. I know it's sexual harassment. You come on a podcast and then some guy's like, she's fucking hot, and you're like, hey man, dial it back. She's an actress.
We're not allowed.
She is so sexy.
Yeah.
And she looks like in like a Susan Sarandon from Bull Durham kind of way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And she's really cool and a great actor, and I love her. We've kind of created our own way of like, we're like a unit on the show, especially even more in season 2. It's nice to have she's like my partner,
So let's do this for the people listening, and talk to me about, if you could pitch the Runaways. I'll pitch it poorly, but if
I'll tell you how they pitched it to me.
Okay, that'd be great.
Which is a group of students, high school students, discover after years of getting together of what they thought was, they would meet once a year. Hold on. This is what they told me. They would meet once a year.
Yeah.
The parents, as part of what they thought was this altruistic organization, this organization called the Pride, that would do great things for the environment, for world poverty, for social justice. So these kids that come from all very diverse backgrounds,
yes,
but are also all very kind of wealthy, live in Brentwood, they would see each other once a year. But they were friends, but not really friends, because it's like that kid that you would see once a year.
Yeah.
They find out, and this is not a spoiler, in the pilot, basically, that their parents are actually part of an evil organization doing horrible things that secretly run Los Angeles. So it becomes this kids versus parents.
It really is a coming of age where the kids decide to, in theory, and this is the way I saw it, is when a kid would decide to start drinking or smoking, these kids decide to fight evil.
But they must band together, and they're forced to band together under very auspicious circumstances.
Yes.
Life and death. And so, and then there's other kind of aspects, like my wife and I, we create a dinosaur that our daughter can telepathically communicate with, and they find out also that they all have individual kind of strengths and powers, and
that's the fucking best.
Yeah,
that's the best part of it.
It takes a little while to get there, but like once you do, the show's off and running. And this season 2, which we just finished and airs in December, is on fire. Like, it's just like they're on the run. It's like nonstop story and action. First season, like, it took a little, it took a little while.
First season was fine. I didn't
just build up to the story.
For us, it was a lot of Georgia explaining who was who.
Right. I was watching it with her too, because I was like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
Even on the show, I have no idea.
She was, and then like, no spoiler alert, but I think like the girl who can glow hooks up with the Asian chick,
Carolina and Nico. Yes, and
Carolina and Nico. God, yeah. I'm so bad at names. Yeah, Carolina and Nico hook up, and I lost my shit. I
would be a little disconcerting if you didn't know.
She's a lesbian. Yeah. And George is like, yeah, Dad, calm down.
Yeah,
this is just part of the story. I was like, wait, what happened to the fucking black kid? He's not gonna wait. Shut the fuck up.
But he gets some action season 2. It's like, he's okay. Yeah, with somebody else, a new character, but he. But that's the thing about the show, is that I think a lot of teens, and I thought that it was going to be just a teen show. So I was a little concerned, like, is this going to be like a Disney show?
Are you going to be the dad that just shows up and you're like, you wacky kids? But no.
Exactly. That was a major concern. But they
you and your wife adopted Gert from her family, who got murdered.
No, Gert is our biological daughter, but we adopted Molly. Whose parents were in the Pride and were something happened to them.
Something happened
They
to them.
died,
So the
yes.
4 families are, and by the way, I know that if anyone that
like
works
the
from
mob.
works for Hulu or Runaways, publicity-wise, is going to hate what I'm about to do, but I'm just talking into the break. This is how it normally goes.
You're fine.
There's the like uber white family who's the hot mom with the like kind of reddish hair, and the dad who's an actor, and then they got the guy from fucking
Leslie
Nip Tuck.
Dean and Frank Dean. Yes.
Nip Tuck's her dad, but she's kind
Well,
of
dude, that is a spoiler, but yes, but you kind of find that out at the end of the season. What? Yes, Julian McMahon.
dude. That
Australian.
guy's badass.
He's amazing. I love. We've become friends. He's in because we're both like you. Like we're like lifers. We've been in this a long time.
Oh yeah.
And he's a great guy and a great actor. Yeah.
Nip Tuck was a great.
So he
show.
he plays the guy that basically runs the pride, and he's maybe of some sort of alien descent or something.
And then you've got you and your
It sounds
wife.
ridiculous when we're describing it.
It does, but it's so great.
Yeah.
You and your wife are like scientists.
Yeah.
I think you guys ultimately want to go out to the rainforest, live in the rainforest.
Yeah, we want to bail, but we're like Pacino in Godfather 3. Like, suck us back in.
Yeah, and then and you guys have a dinosaur that you've created.
We've created a dinosaur that can telepathically communicate with Gert, our oldest daughter.
And Molly, her parents were, we don't know what happened to her parents, but they're dead.
They're dead.
Molly's got superhuman strength.
Yes.
And then you've got
Carolina can fly.
Carolina, okay. Carolina's a part of the White family.
Yes.
She can fly and she glows.
Yeah, she glows.
Then you got the guy from Buffy and his wife.
Yeah. With the like the superstar football or wrestling
Good looking
lacrosse.
dude who fucking blew me away. He's British.
He's British. Greg
He's
Sulkin.
fucking British.
Yeah, good kid. Yeah.
He's a great actor. He's
He's like the Luke Perry of our show.
He's gorgeous and he's awesome. But he's like trying to connect with his dad. His dad has like a brain tumor. I don't know what's going on with his dad, but then his dad, all of a sudden they connect, and then his dad flips out. Then you got then you got the Asian family.
Yeah, the Minorus. Yes.
The Minorus.
Yeah, Nico is the daughter, and Tina and Robert are the parents. Gosh, good thing I remember this. And they have their own. They're kind of do all the computer and analytics for the organization. Yes.
And they've lost their oldest daughter,
who passed away. Yeah.
Who passed away.
Well, she died. Yes.
She died.
Under mysterious circumstances.
Under mysterious circumstances.
That's right.
And they don't connect with their daughter, Nico. Nico's, I would say Nico, in my opinion, I don't know, all the kids are breakout stars. I love all those kids in that. They're so good in it.
They're going to be huge.
And then, what family am I forgetting?
You're forgetting
the Black family.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah.
The main kid.
Yeah. He's kind of, in a weird way, I see the movie, I do see the TV show through his eyes.
I think you're supposed to. Yeah.
Okay,
he's
are?
The guy. Well, yeah, because he's the kid that's like the most empathetic, I think, and he's just in the middle of it. And his dad was a former, I don't want to say gangbanger, but he was like
gangbanger. I think he was a gangbanger. No, he definitely was a gangbanger
in that world. But he's coming to some money under possibly some mysterious circumstances.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now. This is
way no need to watch the first season. We're breaking it down.
No, you got to watch the first season. I got to release this before
December 21st.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice.
You have time.
All right. Yeah, we have time. We have time, and then you got to text everyone and let them know that I'm genuinely interested in the show. Yeah. And if they want a cool hang, that I can. I would definitely. I'm not like.
No, I watched your stuff online.
It's really tough for people to go. Hold on, this guy who robbed a train in Russia, who performed shirtless, who's a big alcoholic. He wants to talk to me about Runaways.
Is it publicized online that you're an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I know I'm not drinking this month, but like I'm a big drinker.
Okay, but I don't judge you for that.
Yeah, no one should, I think. But but like I'm a big.
Everyone
partier.
has that's just your medicine.
Yeah, well,
but if it's an issue, maybe you should talk to someone about it.
No, it's not an issue. We're fine. I'm fine. But meaning like if you looked at me on paper, that's how you'd see me. And so I think some people would be like,
well, no, I checked you out, and you seem like you're doing great. So and my agent was like, this guy's great, and he was talking you up. So
great.
And you obviously are doing great in your career, and I'm open to promoting the show and talking to people.
It's a cool show, man, and it's a cool show to watch with your family because your kids can get into it.
Well, that was the thing I was going to say. Yes, and I feel like parents, like my contemporaries, and I'm not a young man anymore, really like it. You know, people from any age seem to be into the story.
Good show. It's got the same thing that Lost had. That
Love Lost.
That it just keeps you. Every episode keeps you going to the next episode, and we watch it. They're released weekly, correct?
Actually, they were the first season, but they're going to, as they say, drop them all at once.
So then we're gonna binge. My kids do not know that.
You're gonna be up all
because
night.
we.
How old's your youngest?
12 now.
Yeah, I have a 12 and 10. The 10-year-old, it's a little much.
It's a little much for a 10-year-old.
Violent. Yeah, she kind of dropped off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But my 12-year-old's into it.
Your 12-year-old would really be into it if she had an older girl or boy?
12-year-old girl. Yeah, and she's
if she had
almost
an
13.
older sister.
Yeah.
Because that's what got Isla is like, Georgia, hold on. Who's that? And Georgia's like, Isla, gosh.
Those are cool names.
Yeah,
man.
they're gonna.
Isla and
I
Georgia.
didn't name them. I would have named them Shark and HIV positive.
Oh,
yeah.
good night, everybody.
That way, she couldn't be a whore. Hi, I'm HIV positive. Oh, cool. And then the other one, we'd been at the beach going Shark. Those are old. Those are 20-year-old jokes.
Those are good ones though. But yeah.
I wrote a bunch of jokes about, like, when you're young, you just try to write jokes. One of the other ones is if I ever have twins, I'm going to name them both Bert, but I'm going to name one Bert and the other one Bert. And then be like, how was your day, Bert? Pretty good. It was great, Dad. Made the baseball team. How about your day, Bert? Oh, I got beat up again. I don't know.
Yeah. But they would always elicit the same response, though. Would the sad Bert ever be able to be positive?
Yeah, I doubt it. Not in this make-believe world I created.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. I'm just trying to go deep.
So who do you hang out with on set, like, the most? Like, who do you pal up against?
Well, probably, most of our scenes, at least this season, were with the parents because the kids were kind of separated a lot this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Julian and I really hit it off. I think just being veterans of the business, and then everybody's great. I mean, it's a really good group. I love Josh Schwartz. I mean, when he's around, he and I he's the showrunner with Stephanie Savage. They did the OC and Gossip Girl, and
oh wow,
he and I have a lot of similarities. But everyone's great. I mean, the whole cast is great. The women are unbelievable. It's one of those situations where you're like, oh, I actually love everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been on other shows where you're not happy you're not unhappy when the day is over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, just some personalities don't quite.
Yeah.
Or people are ungrateful. I just hate it when people get complacent and ungrateful or whatever. You don't have to be like best friends with everyone. Just be cool. Did
you ever pull aside? You ever talk to another actor and said, "Hey, man, you're fucking it up for yourself"?
I have.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to say any names. Just like, hey, because my whole attitude is like, it's like high school, with money, Hollywood. It's like word gets around fast.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're a dick, your moniker will stick with you. It takes a while to shake it off.
Dude.
Is it like that in stand-up too?
Well, it's not like that in stand-up because there's a lot of dicks that are working.
Right.
But I would say that
it's more collaborative, I think, on set. So stand-up,
like
you're on your own,
in
right?
Television, in like the hosted, I had a show on Travel Channel for like 8 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you would hear rumors from crews, from just the DP, the director, the sound guy, second camera, like all those guys, UPMs, they would talk trash about people.
Yeah.
And that gets around. So when they're looking for a guy to host a show based on ... and they're like, who should we look at? They're like, do not bring that fucking guy in. And then myself, on the other hand, I did a number of different shows because I was always really easy to work with and I was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the thing that you were saying where you modulate your energy, I never did that. And my energy was like at full tilt to like the end of the day where I was like, we're all going to dinner together, right? And because we were on the road.
I don't do that.
Oh.
There's no dinner with me.
Oh.
I'm like, later, guys, I'm going home. I say it in a very nice way.
I don't think there was an evening I had shooting any of the shows I ever did, ever.
Yeah.
Where I didn't end up in my room with one other person on the show drinking, bullshitting, like ever.
But you were a young man then, right? You could. I
was like fucking 2 years ago. Oh. I was.
You're still young. You're still very young.
I don't know
how you do that, man.
Like
I gotta take my bath. I gotta go to bed.
God, no, I am fucking.
Right, kidding about the bath.
I have literally like, I don't know if it's separation anxiety, but like
But you're talking about when you're on the road.
Oh yeah, like
well that's different because you're on the road and
when you're on the road with the crew,
it's like a circus. You're in your
we travel with
family.
11 people. We'd be around. We traveled around the world 4 times,
so
and
different.
every night I'm like, dude, we're in Tanzania. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
we're in
that makes
Zanzibar.
sense. But I'm saying when you're
Sao
shooting,
Paulo.
which sounds amazing. You want to see the city. When
I would still do it when I'm like, we're in Sandusky. We're in fucking Port St. Lucie. Like I'd be like, come on, guys.
We're in
There's
Bakersfield.
an Olive Garden down the street.
I think Merle Haggard played here. Let's go see if we can.
I used to do things like I got us all tickets to go see Hank 3. Let's go.
I'd go to that.
So we'd all go see Hank 3.
Well, that I'd go to. Yeah.
That's the one thing I miss, and I'm looking forward for on this tour is like I miss the camaraderie of having a crew with me. I would love to do. I don't know if I'd love acting as much as I love to do. I really did love being myself. But like what I would love about being on a show like Runaways is showing up in the morning and like just bullshitting and catching up. And
it's fun. The key to anything in life, sports, stand-up, acting is just being relaxed. So whatever gets you relaxed, if bullshitting relaxes you, then bullshit till your heart's content.
Yeah.
If isolation relaxes you, so I just listen to myself. I'm always kind and respectful, but if I need to just prepare and go into my corner, I will. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But if I want to hang and drink some coffee and talk about how's your daughter doing, then we'll do that.
You seem like a very even-keeled person.
You have to be.
I'm not very even-keeled. Do you drink booze?
Like occasionally. I'm a Jew. We don't love the drinking so much. We never I don't think it's in the Jewish. I'll smoke weed though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on occasion too.
Oh, yeah.
Never while working, but sure. Well, it's it's from the earth.
Yeah.
But I guess alcohol is too. But I just never really. I don't like. I get. I'm very sensitive. Makeup. I think I can get hungover quickly.
Really?
Is it an age thing?
I don't know. I think I'm superhuman because I
just don't like that feeling the next day. I don't mind the drinking. While it's happening.
Well, I do it so much I don't even notice it. Now this month they're doing, when we do this challenge, we do it during October. We call it Sober October. So we don't do drugs or alcohol this month.
Good.
And so it's been 24 days for me right now.
Stretch.
And so I don't even notice it. To be dead honest with you, I do not notice it.
Do you replace it with caffeine, like more caffeine? Or
no, I replace it with sleep.
Yeah.
Like I fall asleep at like 9.
Nice.
And then just wake up at 5, and I replace it with working out. That's been my obsession.
That's great.
This month, but
well, maybe you should continue that once you. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying if you feel good.
Yeah, but do I feel good? I don't know. I'm not. See, I don't have the sensitive makeup in that. Like, I can go on the road, party, go to sleep, wake up after 5 hours sleep, go to the gym, work out. I ran the LA Marathon this year with no training, party the night before. So like I don't have.
You are superhuman.
I call it the Mickey Mantle gene. But I bounce back pretty quick.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with. I like weed. I can't wait to November 1st. I'm flying to Virginia Beach to do some shows, and now you can leave LAX with an ounce of marijuana.
Wow.
So I'm gonna bring flour for the first time on the road.
I kind of, if I'm going to do it, I think I prefer the vaping though. I think
it's a little easier. It's a little more,
better, right?
You can just
healthier.
put it in your pocket. I don't know if it's healthier.
Yeah, what's the verdict on that?
I don't know. I've been vaping a lot this year.
I think if you get one that doesn't have like flavoring or toxic byproducts.
If you like, you can hear the construction going on the street.
That's all right. A lot of podcasts, there's always something.
That's what I love about podcasts.
Marin, he's always talking about his gardener, but you never actually hear it. He's like, oh, you hear the gardener? But
he got a new house. He didn't have the same gardener anymore.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I don't hear it. If you didn't say anything, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, he goes, the fucking leaf blower. And I was like, I didn't hear it.
No, I think just the person there. That's probably the same. But anyway, yeah, I will drink a glass. Like if we were having dinner and you had a great bottle of wine, I would definitely have one with you. But my taste for spirits has left me.
Really?
I used to enjoy the tequilas, but once in a while.
I like it. I'm looking forward to it in November. But part of me is
maybe this tour. Maybe you should see how you do. You should go sober tour.
Everyone, that's not gonna happen. Everyone will return their ticket sales.
You drink while you're performing?
No, I don't even. But I think in a weird way, I'm an excuse to party for a lot of people.
But they don't need to know that you're not partying.
Yeah, but I like to party also.
With them.
Like,
okay.
yeah, look, it's a slippery slope.
I see what you're saying.
When you are the guy you say you are, you got to be the guy you say you are. And sadly, I'm the guy I say I am.
I guess, but I mean, at the same time, like, you're playing a part. But you want to be authentic.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't look. If I'm not drinking, I tell everyone I'm not drinking. And if I'm working out like crazy, I'm an open book. I'll tell you exactly what the fuck's going on in my life.
I like that.
That's why it's scary to go to the doctor, because I know if the doctor says to me, your liver's bad, you are done drinking, and I have to tell people that, I no longer am fun to go see on the road.
I disagree.
That's why I modulate.
I disagree. I don't think think your crowd would abandon you because you don't drink?
But
no one cares if I drink or don't drink, but you're saying it's because of that's not who I am. Is it? Yeah. But isn't your humor who you are, or is it because you're a drinker?
People come to my show, they enjoy the comedy, they laugh. That's across the board. That is why they come see me. I'm a comedian first. But in a weird way, and I think part of this is like, I don't know if it's hard to explain or if I overthink it, but a little bit of our vices helps define us.
Yeah.
Like for some of my buddies, it's food. For some of my buddies, it's working out. For some of my buddies, it's marijuana. For some of my buddies, it's sex. And that helps define you. It's almost like, this sounds, I don't know. People don't notice that I'm drunk on stage. I think they assume I'm drunk.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to be the guy that goes, like, if the doctor said you're done drinking, I would have to talk about that on stage. And so I've always thought that would bum me out, to be like, so I'm not drinking anymore. And everyone would be like, what the fuck? Like, the club I was at in Omaha, they were like, had you been drinking, we would have sold $4,000 more a night in booze.
Because they're emulating what you're doing on stage.
I bring a drink on stage.
You're
have a drink.
the Jimmy Buffett of comics.
Dude, from your mouth to God's ears, I loved Jimmy Buffett. I would trade in all my hard work and artistic creativity to just be a guy who had a cruise once a year and made like a couple $1 million on a cruise.
He's got to play on Broadway too.
Dude, Jimmy, a fucking chain of restaurants, the Machines Burgers.
I'm just saying that his music's okay, but like he basically built.
His music's great. I love Jimmy Buffett.
No, I mean it's great, but I'm saying part of the appeal is just, hey, we can go and drink margaritas and we can hang out. Yeah,
I would
say,
gives
you permission.
I'm a lifestyle brand.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Rachel Ray once said that to me.
I get what you're saying. We come to your show because we have permission to be who we are.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You can't stop drinking. That's what we've discovered today. You cannot ever stop drinking. That's it. We did it.
That's a fucking brilliant way to end this podcast. Come to my show because you get permission to be who you are.
You get permission. Fuck, I gotta come. But is it be okay if I don't drink at your show?
Yeah.
Is everyone gonna judge me?
You gotta take your shirt off.
All right, I'll do that. I'll do that. So I do a lot of yoga.
So what's the plan for the rest of the year?
Well, unofficially, if we go back to work, season 3, we'll be doing that in the spring. That's not the end of the year. But so I'm taking a little bit of time off. I might, there's a couple projects I'm developing myself. I work with Kyle Gass. Do you know Kyle from Tenacious D?
Oh yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
So I play drums in Kyle's side project called Trainwreck band.
Yeah.
And then we're also developing a couple of television shows. We have an animation show that we're developing, and then some other stuff. So I'm trying to develop more. I love acting, but I want to I just know so many talented people. I want to employ them.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of working on my production company, and there's a film project I might work on as an actor too that we've been chatting about.
Are you auditioning for anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at that point in my career where it's like I don't have to audition for a lot of stuff, but if it's a big enough project, I do have to audition.
Do you mind auditioning?
No.
I love it.
Because, to me, it's like opening night. It's like, I'll go, if I hate the material, I won't go in because I will be judging it while I'm performing. So for me, it's always it's like you doing a show, stand up. I know there are going to be people watching it. It's going to be filmed. Someone's going to see it. I don't want to fucking be shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, if it's going to be shit, not going to go in. I'm just going to pass. And I'll pass on a lot of things now because I don't need to do it as much as I did when I started. I was like, I'll do anything.
Yeah.
but unfortunately, most of the things I did, they were quality. I just got lucky. But now it's like I can be a little more choosy. So, you know, I have friends who are working on projects if they come to me, but you know, a lot of stuff now, they'll just kind of reach out just based on the body of work, which is nice. But if it's something that's outside, like kind of the comfort zone or range, I'll absolutely audition.
What would be something you'd drop everything for right now? Not everything, obviously, your contractual obligations. But
yeah, I can't really do like another series until they officially cancel the Runaways.
Which is a nice problem to have.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. But like something where you go, they go, hey, we are shooting fucking...
I would love to do like, listen, you know, a period Spielberg. You know, I would have loved to have been in, why am I blanking on the name, with Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks, this last great film about
I know what you're
Washington
talking about.
Post, something like that. What was the name of the film?
The Post?
The Post. Yes, thank you. I knew we'd get there. But like something where it's like, you know, working with where I worked with Spielberg. I had a little part in The Terminal that was cut out, but and he was great. Just some great auteur where it's something I could really sink my teeth into and play a character, you know, that fully three-dimensional, has some weight, maybe period, maybe not, but you know, something, work with one of my heroes, you know, Gus Van Sant or Scorsese or one of these guys where I know it's going to be about the work. Noah Baumbach. Did you see the Meyerholt stories on Netflix? I recommend that to you. Dustin Hoffman, Ben Stiller, just something where it's truly about character.
What is it called? The
Meyerholt stories. It's about a father.
So many things on fucking Netflix I have to watch now. The Meyerholtz.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Is it Meyerholtz?
Oh, Adam Sandler.
Sandler is great in it.
Special.
Sandler's in that one too. Actually, the Sandler special's been getting really good reviews.
I've got to watch that now.
Yeah.
I love Adam Sandler. I'm meeting with him next week.
You have a meeting with him?
Yeah, well, his company, not him. But
nice. Over at the Sony lot. Get
I
yourself a little coffee at the Coffee Bean there before you go in, be fully charged up.
Holtz? M-I-R...
M-E-Y.
M...
Obviously not a Jew.
E-Y.
M-E-Y-E-R.
Oh, the Meyerholtz story. And Sandler's an actor in it?
He is. He's great.
The fuck is this?
It's great. It's about these brothers. Their father, he lives in New York, and he's an artist.
Downloading it.
Yeah, dude, it's good. It's good. But it's Noah Baumbach. I mean, that guy can do no wrong. You know, he just tells great stories. Anyway, and I have friends who are making stuff now that, you know, I'm at that age too, where like a lot of my contemporaries have become really successful. So I just want to work with people I like.
Okay, I've always wanted to do a show called
but at the same time, I also like, if you gotta sometimes sing for your supper. You know, that's part of the biz.
I've always wanted to do a show. I forget the name of the title I wanted to do. I wanted to call it. I forget what I wanted to call it. But what I wanted to do was to have comics get to reenact their favorite scenes in movies.
Yeah.
And get one shot at their favorite scene in a movie. Like my favorite scene in a movie that I would like to reenact. And I would probably cast it with my friends, but I want to play... I want to be in the scene. I don't know who I want to be in Boogie Nights when the Asian guy's throwing the fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be the guy.
That's with Alfred Molina.
I want to be Alfred Molina in that. Like, oh, Ricky Springfield. He's a good friend of mine. I ran into Ricky Springfield's whole fucking team, and I was like, dude, I fucking so bad. And I'd probably rewrite it. Ricky Springfield will walk in with the shotgun.
Yeah.
You want some, you little babies? But that's one of my favorite scenes in any movie.
You want to play Fred Molina in... that film, okay.
Oh, so, or just one scene, like the death scene in True Romance, where they kill, they kill his dad. What's the one scene you go, I want to be in that scene?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. The movie,
Coffee's for Closers.
Oh, dude, I quote that all the time with Kyle. We talk about, of course, the great David Mamet film and play. Coffee's for Closers. That's
a great scene.
That's a great scene. Baldwin. You know what movie?
Scene Stealers. That's the name of my show. Scene Stealers.
You know,
and so you
movie...
get to steal a scene and you get to reshoot it. And you're the one.
You know what movie? It would be a challenge, and I don't think this is what you would expect, but I think when I was a kid, I saw this film probably at too young of an age. Michael Cimino's The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
With Robert De Niro.
Oh my God! Hold on, please tell me the scene you're talking about because I recreated this one time. Keep going.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you talking about in the water, the Russian roulette scene?
Yes.
Yes, that's the one.
shut the fuck up.
I mean, it'd be impossible to do, but those guys are so good. I would give it my best shot. But like, I mean, that movie scarred me and made me want to be an actor.
Can I get a soft commitment from you if I can sell this as a TV show that we can recreate?
Dude,
that?
I might have to do. There's another scene.
Okay.
Because that one's unbelievably challenging and horrifying and could go off the rails quickly. But there's another scene in that movie where De Niro comes back and sees Meryl Streep for the first time.
Yeah.
Remember, he goes in the taxi. They're having a party for him, and he tells the taxi driver to keep going because he can't. He comes back from Vietnam. He can't face his friends.
Yeah,
it's too overwhelming. And then he sees her the next morning, and they're awkwardly trying to talk to each other in the house.
Yeah,
I would do that scene. That's a great fucking scene, man.
Okay,
but I'll try to do the Russian roulette scene first.
The Russian roulette scene would just, I think, as a show, I think it would pop more.
It would.
I love to hear what
John Savage is in that scene, man.
Dude.
I mean, that's a great. Wait, who's the other actor? It's Savage. It's
Chris Walken.
And Chris Walken.
Yeah.
And De Niro. Yeah.
That's a great fucking
It's
scene.
one of the greatest scenes of all time.
I ran into Eric.
Or the De Niro scene in or the Pacino scene in Godfather where he goes to get the gun behind the toilet.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that would be a cool one.
That would be a cool one too.
I wonder how that works. I wonder if you could just recreate people's scenes. I ran into Eric Roberts.
But yeah, great idea.
I not ran into him. I did a fucking show with him, and then
Runaway Train. Did you ever see that? He was great in that, man.
No, which one's that?
The Train's Running Away with John Voight and Eric Roberts.
No,
I think it's his greatest performance.
Oh no, his greatest performance. They took my thumb.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Pope of Greenwich Village. They took my thumb.
Yeah.
Hey, did that cunt leave you?
So that's the scene you would do?
Fucking, yes. Have you ever seen that scene, Austin? They fucking the mob cuts his thumb off.
And he's on the ground.
And he's on the ground. They took my thumb.
What's
Johnny? They took my thumb.
Yeah.
And then he looks around and realizes that Mickey Rourke's girlfriend left him, and he goes, "Did that cunt leave you?" Oh, you gotta give her one good rap. You grab your coat and you don't say goodbye to nobody. He took my thumb.
Oh man, you're doing it already. Why are we rolling? Why are we rolling, Bert? God damn it.
There's so many great movie scenes. Oh, the Mitch Hedberg thing?
No, well, I love Mitch, but I was looking at you as a young man. That's cool.
Where's that? Oh yeah, that's my first special.
Nice.
That's my first special. My first one of my first Lucky Eyelashes is on that poster, and the Lucky Eyelash that just came out this morning is going on my new poster. I've gotten Lucky Eyelashes.
You're a crazy dude.
I've gotten Lucky Eyelashes my whole life. First one I ever got was with Will Smith. I got it, and we were in a meeting, and he saw it, and he was like, "Oh, let me get you got a hair." And this Asian woman at NBC was like, "Don't pull that. Long hairs in Asian culture are very lucky." And he was like, "Really?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, you never pull a long hair. Let it grow.
Yeah.
As long as you have it, you'll have good luck." And I didn't pull it. And then obviously we sold a TV show, and then I had this Lucky Eyelash and through the whole thing, and then it fell out, and the TV show fell apart. And then I got another TV show, and I started growing an eyelash. And I've had probably 10 Lucky Eyelashes throughout my career. And I'd probably say I've had 10 really good things happen to me. But the Lucky Eyelash I just tried to show you guys, I was standing right there when I got the call from Netflix saying, we want to do a special with you, an original. And my wife, as I'm on the phone like this, and my wife's looking in the sunset, and she goes, "Oh, honey, you're getting a Lucky Eyelash." And showed it to me. I had it through the taping of it. I had it through the release of this tour. And then it came out this morning, and I
here I am.
Yeah,
Your
tell me about it.
Get better.
And then what's going to happen is what we'll do is we'll edit this to sell our Scene Stealer show, and you'll be in the pilot episode.
Dude, I would love to. I will do that scene.
It'd be fun to see people.
We need 2 other actors to play.
That's you. You get to pick them. Oh, I know one right now.
Who?
Greg Grunberg.
Oh, Grunny.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, all right. I can get Grunny in a second. I could stack this scene with some powerhouse.
That's the fun of it. And we go around, we get all the actors. But basically what it is,
I like this
it's
idea.
like, comics have drunk history. Comics have so many different avenues to kind of just like fuck around.
Yeah.
And actors don't. Actors don't have, just act. And that's it, kind of. But like comics, we get podcasts. We get fucking animated things written about our bits. We do stand-up specials. We do so much shit. Actors don't have that avenue. I originally had thought about it for comics is Scene Stealers, but in
you
essence,
need actors. You need
it would be cool to see actors take
like
over.
really do it, like not as a joke.
Yeah,
that's why I was a little daunted, because if you don't have the proper, you know, remember they're in the water. We got to get in water. Well, what are we gonna do it in your pool? Like,
dude,
it has to be in like they're in Vietnam, bro.
We can shoot the pilot in my pool.
they're in Vietnam. We need some murky water.
It would be cool to see what projects other actors go, oh, I've always wanted to, like what Dennis in when the True Romance won.
Yeah.
That's one of the most amazing scenes.
Sure.
When he's like, can I get a cigarette?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he just starts laughing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, there's so many amazing scenes in
thinking
movies.
about a bunch right now. There's so many others I could do.
By the way, I would take there's like probably, and this may be a tad bit homoerotic, but anything Brad Pitt's done. That guy I'm in love with that guy.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to end the podcast.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for doing this.
I love
really
Brad Pitt too.
appreciate
He's a great actor.
It's been a blast having you on, and I'm so grateful that I'm in a position in this business where at least your agent would go, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, they were
and I get to meet you.
Yeah, I thought they represented you, but no, dude. So nice to meet you, and have a great tour. You leave tomorrow.
No, January 10th.
Oh, I thought you said tomorrow.
No. We're planning it now, January 10th, and then I'm gone until, I think until the 2020.
What?
Yeah, well, we have booked out until June and in Australia, but then I think we're gonna take it back in through North America and then into Asia.
Wow.
So yeah, fucking Netflix, man. Netflix reaches everybody.
That's one of the things. I mean, we're on Hulu, which we do okay, but I feel like if we were on Netflix, it would be an even bigger show.
Well, yeah, it's so funny you brought up Sarah Silverman. Now that I know that we have Hulu and Sarah Silverman's on it, I want to see her interview with Bill Burr.
Well, she does a thing where she goes to like conservative communities and households and has dinner with them and interviews them. She's got a bunch of different segments.
Yeah.
She's basically trying to like, olive branch and bring the divide together through conversation.
I love Sarah. I've been a big fan.
She's
of her
amazing. Yeah, she's a friend, and I, God bless her, right?
Yeah.
To use her kind of position to like at least have open up dialogue.
She's amazing. I love Sarah. You'll never catch me shitting on Sarah. It just won't happen.
Yeah, but don't shit on anybody.
Well,
stay positive.
Of which, if you run into any of your castmates, let them know.
Did you reached out to all of them?
I didn't reach out to anybody. I think my management reached out probably to everyone. But if anyone asks, just let them know that I'm in a safe place. I'm genuinely a fan, and I just want to talk to them about themselves.
I will.
And their interaction with the show.
Done.
Thank you, brother, so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Good to meet you.